Good morning, everybody. Great turnout. Hey, yesterday I was able to attend a commission meeting for Montgomery County. The commissioners did a proclamation for Safe Dig Month. I'd like to read it. Hey, Jim, would you mind coming up here?
Someone's getting old. Yes, don't ask me to read, I'm not like that.
Be it known that the Board of County Commissioners of Montgomery County, Ohio, proclamation, whereas in Montgomery County, underground utilities are damaged every year by those who fail to locate and mark utilities prior to digging and excavating, which can lead to service interruptions, costly property damage, personal injury, and even death. And whereas April is the beginning of many digging and landscaping projects that could lead to unintended utility damages, and whereas to reduce unintentional damages and injuries, the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners has partnered with the Miami Valley Utility Safety Council and the Ohio Utilities Protection Service to encourage citizens and businesses to call the National Call Before You Dig 811 hotline before any excavation or construction projects. And whereas the National Call Before You Dig 811 hotline provides an easy way to request underground utility location markings at any dig site. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Montgomery County, Ohio on this 9th day of April 2019 does hereby recognize April as Safe Dig Month to promote awareness around safe digging practices and to encourage citizens and businesses to contact the National Call Before You Dig 811 hotline before any digging or excavation project. Signed, Deborah Lieberman, President, Judy Dodge, and Carolyn Rice. Jim, would you go over the All right, real quick before George comes up and gets started with the presentation, I want to take an opportunity to invite all of you who are not yet involved with our local damage prevention council. By all means, come out and see us. We meet the second Wednesday of every month from 9 to 10 at the Montgomery County Environmental Services. It's really a great place to network, to build those contacts. So if you're out in the field and you need a point of contact for a specific company or you need specific information on a certain locate, stuff of that nature, you can build those relationships at DPC meetings. It's also an area where if you're having issues and problems, you can bring them to the council. The council's going to discuss it. They're going to maybe make some suggestions on, hey, we've heard this before, this is what worked to fix this problem, stuff of that nature. So again, by all means, everybody's invited. I would love to see all of you show up. If you do need more information on that, it's on our website at www.ohio811.org. Jim, would you like to say anything?
Yes, sir. All right, I put a contact sheet out. I talked to most of them, some of them I didn't get to up here in the front. We got the contact sheet up here in front at the sign-in desk. Mary Lou has them over there. So what that sheet is so I called the utility companies and asked them if they were willing to give a phone number, a single contact to you guys out there in the world digging. You have trouble finding a line, that they would be willing to take that phone call and help you out. So the numbers that I have up there are folks that said they're willing to take your phone call and help you find these utilities if you're digging around when you're having trouble. So on the top of the list is a veteran. I'm with Veteran, which is now a Centerpoint company. And my number's there. Call me anytime you need help. If you're looking for a gas line and you can't find it on the marks you're digging, and it gets to be too timely, call me. I'll send someone out. We'll get a locator back out there first off to see whether or not it was marked correctly in the first place. If they can't find it, then you call me back. We're going to take care of it. We're going to come out. We're going to help you find that line. So, and the others said they'd be willing to respond as well. So please take that contact list. Please make sure you call these folks before you dig and get into a utility. We get into utilities, they're dangerous. People get hurt, people get killed, and it gets very expensive for you, your company, and for everyone involved. So please take that contact list and make those phone calls, prevent those damages. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you guys being here. We want to thank the caterer. I think they did a great job. The food was awesome. Thanks for that. And while I'm up here, I want to thank our committee. So we put a committee together to put this together, and it took a lot of work. We started back in January. We met 4 times to put this together. And Jason's on the committee. I want to thank him. He's with the Ohio Utilities Protection Service, Ohio 811. Mary Lou was part of the committee. Thank you, Mary Lou. Ed, he was part of the committee. Andy from DP&L, where you at, Andy? He's here somewhere. Okay, and Jeff was part of this committee also. So thank these guys. And Stan was also part of the committee. Thanks everyone for coming.
And on that note, as far as building relationships and having points of contacts, one bullet that I do want to bring up, I'd like to thank CJ from USIC. He has brought a whole folder full, and I have them over here on the Ohio 811 table of the newest edition of the updated map and the supervisors for USIC who are covering those territories with good phone numbers. If any of you would like to take a copy of that with you today, by all means stop by the table and get that. And then without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you George Gillespie. He is our representative out of Central Ohio, covers Columbus. He is the man, the myth, and the legend, and there's nobody better than George to preach this to you. So here you go, Jim.
You're way too nice, way too nice. Hey, first of all, you guys have done an absolute phenomenal job today on this April Safe Dig event. Let's give these guys a hand again. This is really nice. What a way to spread the good news. And what's the good news? Call before you dig. We're going to go over a few slides, 2 slides of just reminders of the call before you dig process. Then, like I said, we're going to talk about the changes to the law, and then we're going to go over the Ohio Universal Marking Standards. Remember, our service, Ohio 811, is a communication company. We are the link between the excavators and the utilities. We do not mark the lines, hopefully, as most of everyone in here knows. Let's go over, like I said, a couple of slides. What's an excavation? An excavation is the use of tools, powered equipment, or explosives to move earth, rock, or other materials in order to penetrate or bore or drill into the earth, or to demolish any structure, whether or not it is intended that the demolition will disturb the earth. This includes post hole digging, landscaping, sign installation, etc. People, here in Ohio, you penetrate the ground surface, you best have a dig ticket. Plan your work. How long you're going to be there, what type of equipment, how many people are going to be involved. This makes everything run so much smoother. Pre-marking in white. Pre-marking in white is now law. But there are 4 times that you do not have to pre-mark in white. 1, if you're working on Main Street between 1st Street and 2nd Street, that's a precise location, right? No pre-marking in white is required. 2, I'm the locator. I come to your job. You and I walk your job. You tell me where you're going to be excavating. You don't have to pre-mark in white. I like that. Myself personally, I think that's the best and the easiest if you have that communication with your locator. Click, call, or tap the app. Hopefully everyone in here has the app on your phone. And I want to tell you, I use this every day. It is awesome. My favorite is when you go on your phone here, you can go to Ohio 811 and again type in, just go to your app store, type it in, and you can download the app. My favorite is Near Ticket. Use it every single day. And what it does is it picks up every ticket that was called into our service in the last 28 days within 2,000 feet of your iPhone or your Droid. It is awesome. It is awesome. And I can't take credit for that. I have to give it to my partner, Matt, over here. Matt calls it nosy neighbor. Because if I'm going home tonight or wherever I'm at, if I want to find out what's going on, I pull over to the side of the road, I hit Near Ticket, and I see everything that's there. So it is a great app, and that app has everything on it. It has the excavator manual that we have over here that you can pick up on your way out. It has the map of the entire state where we cover, myself and my teammates. So I couldn't live without it today, seriously. Each excavator has to have your own ticket, right? There's the way I always say it is if he who has the shovel in his hand must have a ticket number. And your locate work order form is on page 9 in your excavator manual or on your phone. It's there. If you know those answers before you call us, you'll be on the phone less than 2 minutes once we pick you up. And listen, if you're calling, listen very closely to when our CSR reads that ticket back to you. Because once you say, yeah, that's where I'm at, yeah, submit that ticket now becomes a legal document and it does stand up in a court of law. Hello. And it does stand up, so make sure that it's right. I have used them in court, so make sure that you have that with you. Always have your ticket number with you. And today you do. Today you do. I think my guys are checking on the sound system here. I think so we won't be cutting out. But yeah, keep your ticket number with you. You don't even need the job folder anymore. You have it right there on your phone. We notify all our members. We talked about the All-Pubs people coming over. There are still many non-members out there. If you run into non-members, I ask you, please let myself or my teammates know, and we will go knock on their door. It's one of our priorities to make sure that every utility owner in Ohio is a member of the One Call to make Ohio a safer place for us to live and work and, of course, play. So if you run into non-members, let us know. Wait 48 hours before you begin your excavation, excluding Saturday, Sunday, and a legal holiday. And check your positive response. The utilities will put that positive response in there on what they did in the first 48 hours. So if you call in a ticket right now, today's Wednesday, before 9/17 on Friday, they will tell you no conflict, marked up to privately owned, had a meeting in the field. They will get back to you and let you know. Why would you even go on a job that has a 999 where they haven't looked at it? I get calls all the time. George, this utility's not responding. Do you have a contact over there? Is there someone I can call? I work with this one vertical drilling company. You know, they travel 3, 4, 5 hours. They sure as heck do not want to have their trucks driving that far if the job is not located. Again, professional excavators, it's your responsibility to check your positive response. Perform your site assessment. Hey, let's talk about the tolerance zone, right? 18 inches each side of the mark. If the mark is bigger than 2 inches, they should be telling you that. They should also be telling you ownership and material type. That's big. While we're talking about the tolerance zone, what's Ohio say about depth? In Ohio, depth is only guaranteed on the day of installation, correct? Everything has a recommended depth on that day, but it's only guaranteed until midnight. So when you're in the tolerance zone, you're thinking about the utility, you're thinking about depth. Here's how I want you to remember, and I think it's pretty easy. That utility can be anywhere from heaven to hell. And as we know, most of the time it's closer to heaven. Hey, and I want to share a quick one with you. I got a call from one of my attorney buddies a couple weeks ago. He's in a court battle right now for millions of dollars on a damage. And guess what his argument was? His argument was that he thought that the utility was too deep, that they didn't have to worry about it being that deep, and once they got over a certain footage. I said, buddy, that ain't going to work. It's not going to work for you. I said, that cup won't hold 1 drop of water. He said, well, that's going to be my argument. So the utility he was talking about was somewhere a little bit over 30 foot deep. I said, so right now, and this is how I answered him, I said, right now you're telling me that hell's 30 feet deep, right? He goes, I sort of see your point there. But hey, heaven to hell when you're talking about depth. How long's your ticket good for when you call me? Ticket? The paint and the flags are good forever as long as you maintain your marks. You must start that job in the first 10 days. Of course, if you don't, you have to call us back. And remember too, on the app, on our website, you can use Ticket Updater. You need your name and your ticket number. And that's real simple. Dig with care. I wish up there we would have said, dig with care, dig in a safe and prudent manner. I want to impose that upon you. I want you to think about that in wherever you are digging. Not even, if you're not even in the tolerance zone, always dig in a safe and prudent manner. Let's talk about Senate Bill 378. We needed it. We've needed it. Came out January 1, 2016, right? We had a law in Ohio since 1990, but it had no teeth in it. We got accountability with this Senate bill back on January the 1st of 2016. We got accountability. Did you call? Did you wait 48 hours as an excavator? Did the utility mark it in 48 hours? And are they a member of the one call? Those things have to be happening. If it does not, you can pick up the phone, you can do it on the internet, but you can log a complaint with the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio. Here's some of the things that have changed. Now, most of these right in here are revisions. The first one there, the protection of underground facilities during public improvement projects. Yeah, the utilities should be given ample time to move and rearrange. This should all be taken care of, in my opinion, with the pre-con meeting. Requires all utilities own and operate to register with the Protection Service. Again, if you run into a non-member, please let us know. Require protection services and everyone to promote the call before you dig process. That's when you go around to the state or all over the state of Ohio. My partners and I, we drop off promo items to the rental stores. Hopefully that's one way we can promote it. And we do pass out promo items wherever we possibly can to remind you to call before you dig. In the developer or the designer notifying the Protection Service of intended excavation. This is one of my passions, people, is to get these design tickets to work. In today's world, with the changes to the law, what's that mean? The utilities to get back to that designer with either marks in the field or a precise location and as-built of their facilities. We all in this room want good prints and plans to work off of, correct? How many times have you people been on jobs? You'll be looking at the prints on your job and you'll say, where in the heck is the water line? Where's the water line on this print? And you'll be standing there with you and your teammates, and 20, 30 feet away, you'll see a fire hydrant. My guess is that someone did not respond to the design ticket. Well, today there's a process where if you're the aggrieved party, you can file a complaint. I think we should have the best prints and plans whenever we do a job. And the design ticket is where we start. The excavator notifying the Protection Service. We all know to call before we dig. Marking locations of facilities, giving indication and no facilities at site. We've had an issue where we, especially out in the rural areas with the utilities, where they still feel that they have to go out and put on the ground no conflict. Hey, we try and educate them. All you got to do is your positive response. Because we're educating the excavation world here in Ohio to check their positive response before they even go on that dig site. So, check your positive response again. Duties of an excavator, that's an easy one. That's an easy one. Dig in a safe and prudent manner. Notifying of commencement of excavation or removal of markings. People, if the markings are there or not there, you have to call us back. 48-hour downtime, correct? Hey, if you know you're going to be destroying them, ask for offsets. Do something where you, as professional excavators, do not have that 48-hour downtime. Corrections or tie-ins within the right-of-way, that should be taken care of with the permit process, and it is, which you guys know. And this part right here, the rules surrounding the enforcement, that is the new part. Again, when you sit down to read this, read the law, get you a big cup of coffee. How is it funded? When they were coming together to talk about the law, and we knew that the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio was going to be the overseer of this, they go, we are going to need more people to rule this process, to look at this process, to log this process. So they felt that maybe they might have to hire some people. So they came up with this idea that everyone that uses the one-call process in Ohio, the excavators, homeowners excluded, could be charged up to $50 a year for the process. Now, the bill did not come from us, and I know that I fielded way over a couple hundred phone calls on that. And I would, after about the first couple, I would say, look at the top. The bill came from the Public Utilities Commission. But they were funded with this money. In 2016, it was $25 per excavating company that uses the service. Again, it could have been up to 50. But as you know, there was no bill in 17, no bill in 18, and we have not heard the final word of what's going to happen yet in 2019. But the reason you weren't billed in 17 and 18 is the grievances, the complaints were not as many as people thought. I believe in 2016, and if I'm off maybe one or two, forgive me, but I believe in 2016 there was 27 complaints that came in. In 17 there was something like 78. Last year there was 56. So not many complaints are going in, people. That tells us everything is beautiful, right? Well, hey, if we want to be accountable, everyone has to be on board, everyone has to take part. So, again, we do not know if there will be a bill in 2019 or not. It's a complaint-driven process. At first, I had a hard time figuring that out, what it meant. Complaint-driven process. I have to be the aggrieved party to file a complaint. What's the aggrieved party? The aggrieved party would be, and the example I use is, let's say I lost the gas line to my house and it's winter time. So I call the plumber to fix the gas line. Plumber calls in a ticket. It didn't go out as an emergency. It's not an emergency because we don't have an emergency ticket. So, wife and I are in the house for 2 days without gas. The 48 hours comes up. The job's not located. Who's the aggrieved party? The aggrieved party, as you all know, is the plumber because he did not get his locates. Hey, we just sit there in the cold, right? So you have to be the aggrieved party. I was on another job where the utility was not marked and there was a huge damage on it. And the excavator called me up and said, what can I do about it? And I go, well, it wasn't on your prints, it wasn't on your plans, because the utility did not respond to the design firm. Who's the aggrieved party? It'd be the designer, correct? The utility did not respond to the design ticket. Again, design tickets are one of my passions. PUCO will notify the alleged responsible party and gather the information. PUCO will forward all information to the Underground Technical Committee. I don't know if anybody on that committee is in this room today. Is there? If there is, hands up. Don't see anyone. But there are 17 people on this committee. They're doing a pretty good job, and they're from all walks of life in our industry. There's even 4 excavators on there, guys. The PUCO gives them the complaints that come in, and they really do a good job of investigating and discussing what they're going to do. As far as non-members, if they have non-member comes in, I've seen them where they go real quick on that. They give the non-members 30 days to sign up. Okay, so it's a good thing. And they really do their best at trying to make the right decisions. And if you ever go to one of those meetings, and I know some of you in this room have, you have to remember that when you're in this room at the Public Utilities Commission, only those 17 people can talk. But it is something that I believe everyone should go see at least once, And again, that's the Underground Technical Committee that does it. First fine can be $2,500. Second can be $5,000. And the third could be as much up to $10,000. But you know, to me, right here, how much work you think you're going to get if you're the persistent non-complier? I would say not very much, right? I do know that they have billed people. I do know that some people that they billed have not responded. Those have been turned over to the Attorney General's office. I would not want them knocking on my door. I have been told that there are some monies in the hopper where they have collected. How much, I do not know, but it is a good thing. And people, if you ever have a complaint filed against you, make sure you answer it as fast as you can, because if you don't answer, they say you've sinned, okay? There's something wrong there. Even if you were just to get back to them and say, hey, let me do my investigation, because that first answer has to be, I believe, in 30 days. So get back and say, yeah, we're looking into it, let me do my investigation, and I will get back to you. The aggrieved party, the alleged responsible party, may file for reconsideration within 30 days. There's the 30 days I was just talking about. Make sure you do something positive with that in the first 30 days. And if it's refiled, if the reconsideration is filed, PUCO will review the findings of the UTC, and PUCO will affirm or reject the findings. What happens to the monies? This is the good part. I like this. The monies that they collect do not go to the PUCO, they do not go to Ohio 811, they go to us. And what we can do is we can file for a grant to get some monies to promote damage prevention across Ohio. Hey, we can go out and we can buy some billboards, we can buy some radio time, but we have to promote damage prevention. I think that's pretty cool that the monies are for us. And again, if you want to read anything about the law, it's all on our website. It's good. And I really like on our website how they have it broken down to if was not located in the proper amount of time. You can go right to that paragraph. It's pretty cool. It's real easy to use at Ohio 811. Okay, let's talk about the marking standards. Half of these are really, really easy. They're black and white, but we'll go over them. We're going to talk about front of property, rear of property, sides of properties, intersections, pre-markings, and the material types and abbreviations. Definition of the front of property: from the front plane of the primary structure, property line to edge of road or curb. Here it is, right here would be front. I hope you can see it in the back. Guys, this is really black and white. It's 123 Main Street there, and that's what you get. The locator on this is to locate to the edge of pavement or the curb on that part. Again, pretty simple, pretty black and white. Locate right side of property, and this is looking at the property of 123 Main Street from the road or the street. And you have this, again, to there and to the property line. Next one, left side of property. Same exact thing. And people, these diagrams are all in your excavator manual. And again, the excavator manual, the total book is on your phone. Locate rear of property. So from the building back to the property line. And this could be a building, office building, commercial building, residential building. Define entire property. Hopefully we don't get these, but boy, I see a lot of them coming through where they're not sure where that drop's going to go, correct? We see those as locators and as excavators. But there's what, by the diagram, entire property looks like. Front of property and both sides of the road. I don't know if we need this one in here, because in my opinion, this one here will take care of that one. From front plane to primary structure, side property line to side property line to opposite edge of road or curb, plus so many feet. Hey, that's how I would call this in, and I think a lot of you would too if you were going to be doing an excavation at 123 Main Street, and when you call it in, you don't know what side of the road the line is on, right? So you would call it in this way. And on that other side of the road there, hopefully you would call in to take care of the road right away, correct? So this one here is, I think, very relevant, this slide right here. Parameters of pre-markings, single point pre-mark located a minimum of 25-foot radius around the pre-mark, and pre-marked path located 10-foot radius around the pre-marked path. This right here would be where you're putting in a tree or a sign. You have the pre-mark there with either white paint or a white flag, and the locator is supposed to give you a 25-foot minimum mark around there. Especially like signs don't get moved that much, but tree plantings, yeah. If they see that there's a utility there, they might have to move it, correct? And with Mary Lou here, we're going to be working in 2 weeks at the Tree City USA. And gosh, I can't tell you how many trees are planted across Ohio every year. But that is one of the days I really enjoy, is working with Tree City USA across the state of Ohio. So there's what a sign or tree looks like. Here's one here where you've probably had to work this. I remember when I was outside in the excavating world, this would happen to us quite often. This is when you filed for your permit, the city comes back to you, the village, municipality says, okay, you can put that conduit in there, but I'm only giving you 10 foot in the road right away to put it. So, city told you where to put it, you go out, you put pre-marks on the ground, the locator has to give you a minimum of 10 feet each side of those white marks. It's there, and again, this is a starting point. Define intersection to intersection. Right here is they want locate intersection to intersection from Oak Street to Maple Street on Main Street. This is what you get. If you want the intersections included, you would say including the intersections. You can ask my locate buddies over here, when they look at a ticket, they look at that, plus they also look at scope of ticket. The scope of ticket said to include the intersections. So you guys are painting the picture, they're the ones that are looking at it, correct? So Main Street, Oak Street to Maple Street, including the intersections. And locate intersection to intersection with so many feet on each side. And again, if you don't have the prints or the layouts of where you're at on your prints when you're looking at it. I ran into a thing the other day where I was checking out this job, and I knew there was going to be road right-of-way on the job, and it was a 20-foot from EP on the side there. Well, then I got to looking at it a little bit closer, and I'll be darned if the county didn't come in and get 30 more feet. So off the edge of pavement, you know, you're looking at 50 foot. Hopefully on this, you'll know how much to ask for, but remember too, our basic ticket is 200 feet off center line of road, which should cover just about everything. Locate entire intersection. Remember the start of the, when they say intersection, that'd be all 4 curbs. And I was thinking to myself, I mean, how many times would I just call in an intersection without maybe setting a light box on the corner or some kind of other work that was not in the intersection? Well, I was thinking, hey, let's say there's a storm drain in the intersection, the grates have sunken, they need lowered or raised or whatever. That would be when you could get by with just doing the intersection. Locate site of intersection, north, east, west, and south. Here's what it looks like, and remember it always starts from the very middle of that intersection. You would draw a dot there for, there's my line, north and south, east and west. Locate corner of the intersection. Starting point shall be where the center of all the intersection meets. Okay. That's what you get if you just want the southeast corner located. If you need more, ask for it off of the edge of pavement there, 50 feet or whatever distance you need, going on this one here, east and south. Define a roundabout. Wow. There wasn't, when we were putting these together 2 years ago, not some of those people in the meeting, there was 38 of us, had no idea what a roundabout was. And I'm going, wow, because where I'm from, every place you go, you have a roundabout. In fact, my partner and I, Jason, were down in Fairfield, Ohio the other day, well, about a month ago, doing a talk. And I brought this slide up to them and they go, oh my gosh, we hate those things. They were just getting their first roundabout in the city of Fairfield. Again, in central Ohio, wherever you turn, there's a roundabout. But what does it say? It says roundabout, outside edge of paved area in center of roundabout. That's what it looks like. That's what the diagram is. And remember, if you're going to be in the center of that roundabout, I would definitely say make sure you do the center of the roundabout, locate the center too. I know there's one real close to where I live. They've been in that center of that roundabout, a big one, it's a big one, several times already. So make sure your scope of ticket would cover that. Okay, these are cool. These I am real happy about. Okay, if you're working around a brick sewer or a brick manhole, they should be telling you that. BRK. Green infrastructure. I don't know if you guys are dealing with that around here. I know in C-Bus, it's a pretty big deal right now. The EPA came into Columbus and said, hey, we got some storm, we got some sewer coming together, we got to get it fixed. So what they're doing is they're capturing that water off the roofs, off the houses of storm, and they're putting in conduit and they're running it into these, what they call rain gardens. Okay? It's a good deal. Now the city's telling us, the city of Columbus is telling us that on their prints they can tell you where that conduit is that runs into the rain gardens. I hope so. They've just been into this for a couple years now, and I'm pretty sure, well I know they have for sure, in the one section of Clintonville they are completed. So if you start seeing these little rain gardens in the tree lines or on the side of the roads, they're going to be marking that with the GI for green infrastructure. I know we got some gas people here, and this is that M with the circle around it means that your locate has been done off measurements. Okay? My experience, personal experience. We had a Bradford pear, 2 of them really in the front yard in our flower beds that blew over. Beautiful tree, but once they get over 20 some years old, there's a great chance that a big wind's going to take them down, correct? So when my Bradford pear came down, I go, well, I got to get rid of the stump because I want to reuse my flower gardens, right? So I go out there, and before I call Ohio 811, I go, gosh darn it, that is right on that gas line. So I called my friends up at the gas company, and I'll be darned if they didn't give me a precise location of where my shutoff was. My shutoff, they said come out 44 foot from the corner of the house, go 3 foot that way, and right there it was. I could stand it to shut off, I could look at the meter, and it was a perfect SLM, straight line measurement. So guess what? Only half of the stump got grounded out because that Bradford pair was right on it. So my message is, in my experience, this M with the circle works perfect, in my experience. Black paint. If you have some bad marks on the job, you know, the job's been located, you dig down, you try and find the facility, there's none there. You call for help, call back in, say, hey, they are not there where they're marked. So a locator comes back out and he says, sorry, you have some bad marks. Make sure that locator puts black on those bad marks, because if not, you're responsible for everything, correct? And the duct banks indicate number of conduits running through the duct bank. That you've seen in our marking standards. If there are duct, D-U-C-T, they are to give you a diamond with the number of ducts located there on your job. Now, I know for sure that the contract locators are not allowed to pull the lid on an electrical manhole, but I believe, you can ask them, I believe they can pull it on a communication manhole to see how many duct are there. And, you know, they might be on their prints to tell them how many. The thing about the ducts are, it doesn't tell you how big they are. Are they 1.25 inches? Are they 3 inch? Are they 4 inch? Could they even be bigger? Okay? So that is a good thing. Ducts are to be marked with a diamond. Okay, rounding down, things to remember. Locate within 48 hours, right? Call before you dig. The locate should be telling you material type and size. Should be given. Hopefully it's known. If it's not known, I'm hoping the locator puts down a UNKN, unknown. Indicate owner-operator of the utility line using the American Public Works Code. That's good stuff. And my buddy just told me, I was talking to him, that he was over in Australia here recently, and they're using the same color code over there too. Mark according to the universal marking standards. One thing I want you to remember too, if you're pre-marking in white here in Ohio, and it's wintertime and there's snow coming, you can pre-mark with pink paint, but you must mention that on your dig ticket. You must mention that. And the information can be found online or through the mobile apps. Again, I highly recommend download that mobile app on your phone. And here are the people that discussed this about the marking standards, and we are already talking and discussing for the changes that are going to come out in 2020. We've already had a meeting, and we're looking at now to do our next one here in like the May time frame. And what's cool about this is your Miami Valley Utility Safety Council is up there, and that's where the people came, the 38 people came from these 6 councils to discuss the marking standards. That is my part of the presentation. I will tell you, I'm going to give the mic back over to Jason here, and we will all be around to answer questions. Guys, talk to your utility owners. They're here. We have 4 people here from Ohio 811. So thank you for coming today. This is a great event, and we'll have some pictures on our website about it too also today.
Thank you, George. Okay, I understand that they are ready to start the live demonstrations outside. So what I'm going to say is we're going to start those here in about 10 minutes. So if you want to take 10 minutes, use the restrooms. If you need to get a nicotine break, go ahead and get that in. And then it's going to be on the far side of the parking lots where they're going to be doing the board demonstration at.
So we had some folks bring some equipment. You're welcome to go out there, walk around the back trucks, any of the rental equipment, anything, you can check it out. So I recommend you do that on your way out.
Hey, I'm Doug from Badger Daylighting. Thank you all very much for coming out today to this Safe Dig event. We really appreciate it. That being said, for those of you that don't know much about hydrovac, hydrovac is the safest way to excavate, at least for potholing and exposing existing utilities underground without doing damage. That's the whole idea and premise behind hydrovacking, is that you can use high pressure water, dig the ground away, locate your existing utilities without damaging anything, potholing or whatever the case may be, so you can continue your digging safer after the fact.
So Doug.
Yes, sir.
Question. You guys have been doing this for how many years?
We've been doing it for over 25 years. Started off in Canada and came down into the United States. And we've never had a major utility strike where we've done any damage.
Exactly.
Now, you might chip a little bit off of a pipe that's been underground for a long, long time. But as far as anything that has been a major damage, we've never had that issue with high pressure water. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's a very, very safe way to excavate and to dig. All the spoils are taken up into the holding tank in the truck, so you don't have big piles of dirt laying around, and we can either take that off-site for you, or we'll dump it on-site if you prefer. But digging with water is the safest way to dig and not damage an existing utility that's underground.
Good job.
Any questions? Most of you know what it is, but you can watch. We're going to do a demonstration, show you how it works, so you get a feel for it. It's pretty quick and painless. It goes pretty fast, depending on the soil type. But we're going to fire it up and give it a show. And if you have any questions during or after, don't hesitate to ask. Go ahead and fire it up.
installation